This week I have been living with this 2024 Toyota Crown Platinum Hybrid Max all-wheel drive. MSRP on this is just shy of $56,000. So, as always, let's go ahead and take you for a quick walk around the exterior. We'll dive into some interior impressions, and then we'll take it for a spin. The exterior is finished in a supersonic red with a black two-tone down the center. This is meant to replace the Toyota Avalon. And, it's meant to be bold and edgy, as Toyota says on their website. And it certainly accomplishes that. It's a very unique design, very polarizing to the eye. I still work a 9-to-5 job, so I got to take this to work, and everybody definitely had some interesting opinions on it. I don't think it looks bad. I mean, with this color scheme, I don't particularly care for that. I think it, in my opinion, I don't think it looks very good. If it was just all one color, like I've seen some other Toyota Crowns, I think it'd look a lot better. But yeah, it's just very interesting design. Back here, you would think this would be a liftback, but it's not, which is a little unfortunate. It kind of, like I said, looks like a liftback, and it would be a lot more practical if it was. But instead, you are greeted with a honestly pretty spacious trunk. There's a lot of room back here. The opening is kind of slim, so you're kind of limited on what you can put back here as far as clearance wise, but you do get a spare tire as well, which is actually really nice to see in a hybrid. Most companies aren't putting spare tires in their hybrids because of battery restrictions and stuff like that, but it is nice to see. You do get 60/40 folding rear seats as well. You can just pull those tabs and it'll fold down for some extra space. Grab handle up here. Look at these wheels, guys. 21-inch wheels. Absolutely insane. I mean, if they went any smaller, I guess it would kind of look a little goofy with this lifted sedan look, because this is still classified as a sedan. Save the sidewalls, folks, because one pothole here in Ohio and yeah, you're donezo. Also do get LED headlights as well, which is super nice at night. LED turn signals and a really nice LED bar that goes across the back. It looks pretty cool, at night going down the road. Go ahead and check out the back seat real quick. You do have smart key access on all the doors, which is really nice to see, so you can lock and unlock all the doors just by grabbing the door handle. Go ahead and climb in. Super nice ingress and egress here because of that lifted sedan look. You do get rear heated seats here as well. Mat pockets, rear AC vents, a couple USB-C ports for charging. Pull down center armrest with a couple cup holders here. This does have a fixed glass panoramic sunroof, I guess. The glass doesn't open, but the shade does. It's like 95 degrees out, so I'm actually going to keep this closed for now. Quick shot of the dash here. We'll get up there and talk about it, but it looks very nice. Now you are limited a little bit as far as headroom goes back here. I'm pretty much brushed up against the ceiling here. Do got a lot of leg room, but headroom is leaves a little bit to be desired. If you're a smaller individual, I'm 6 foot. The driver's seat is in my position. If you're smaller than 6 foot, I don't see this being a problem. Go ahead and take a look at what is under the hood. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Ooh, hot. That's hot. All right, under the hood here is a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It made it to a 6-speed direct shift is what Toyota calls it, automatic transmission. Obviously it's all, hybridized, so it makes 340 combined horsepower. It's very peppy. We'll get into that as we go on to the driving impressions. Fuel economy on this is about 29 city, 32 highway, and 30 combined. So not the most fuel efficient, but there is more fuel efficient Crowns available. But this thing absolutely rips, and I don't think the efficiency is that bad for how much power this thing puts out. Up here in the front, you do get power driver and passenger seats that are heated and ventilated and super comfortable as well. The driver's seat is memory. Up front here, just initial impressions, you are limited on headroom with this panoramic sunroof. So keep that in mind. Like I said, I'm 6 foot, and I'm literally brushing my head with this hat on my head on the roof right now. But up front here, you do get a really, really nice looking interior. Digital gauge cluster that we've seen in multiple Toyota products that works really well and is somewhat customizable. 12.3-inch infotainment that works really nice as well with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We've seen this on other Toyota products as well. You guys all know it and are familiar with it. No complaints here at all. Toyota, has done a really great job updating this. You do get a reverse 360 camera as well, which is awesome to see. Then coming down here, you do get dual zone climate controls with, all your heated and ventilated seats controls. This does have an automatic heated steering wheel as well. Down here, you do get a wireless charger. You do get like a sunglasses holder. I think that's what this is for, because there's no sunglasses holder up here. You can see I just blasted my head up against the roof. Couple cup holders here, some drive mode selector. This does have a ton of drive modes. You have Custom, Sport S Plus, Sport S, Normal, Comfort, and Eco. This car does have adaptive dampers on the suspension. Obviously control that with that drive mode selector there. Electronic parking brake, traction control off, brake hold. Center console here, which is pretty spacious. Got a USB port here. Can open both sides for the driver and passenger to interact with it, which is nice. Do get a glove box, which is extremely small. Probably just going to store the manual in it, and that is it. Auto dimming rear view mirror with HomeLink garage access, which is nice. Do get an illuminated visor mirror as well. Overall, the cabin is really, really nice. I have had some rattles in here this week, and maybe we'll experience that on the drive. Kind of a little bit disappointing, especially for the price point, but overall the materials in here are really, really nice. Everything's plush, soft to the touch, and I really like the bronze accents that go across here. With all that being said, I think I about covered all the interior features here. So let's go ahead and take this thing for a spin. And before I do that, please be sure to like the video if you've enjoyed it so far. I publish car reviews weekly, and if you liked it even more than that, please consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. Liking the video definitely pushes out the video to others, and kind of feeds into the algorithm and helps me out as a smaller creator. So I would really appreciate that if you guys could do that for me. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take this for a spin. When I read that this thing had a 6-speed automatic transmission, combined with the, hybrid powertrain, I was like, oh boy, here we go. It's going to be an interesting driving experience. But overall, it's actually pretty smooth. The 6-speed does have a little bit of hiccups occasionally, but what, automatic transmission with gears doesn't occasionally. So overall, it's a really smooth powertrain. This vehicle is probably one of the smoothest and quietest riding vehicles I've been in yet. Toyota really did a great job here tuning the suspension. You would never know that this had 21-inch wheels. It's incredible. I can only imagine how much better this would ride if it had a smaller wheel setup. But I'm not going to complain too terribly much, because honestly, this is the most smoothest riding experience I've ever been in. I've been in some nice, high-end Volvos and things like that, and this is just incredible. The level of refinement here is, through the roof. You get paddle shifters behind the wheel that you can shift gears manually if you want to do that. You want to be a little bit sporty in your crown. This does have 340 horsepower, so it's nothing to scoff at. Now, I've been leaving it in comfort this week, for the most comfortable driving experience. Like I said earlier in the video, you do get a ton of drive modes that, kind of changes how this car behaves, the characteristics of it. And, I found comfort to be the best because I like to be comfortable. Just blasted my head up against the roof trying to turn my head. Let's go ahead and put this in Sport Plus mode, Sport S Plus mode. Come to a complete stop here. Brakes feel pretty good. Brake, gas, launch it. Holy crap. Wow, this thing's really quick. Holy Toledo. Go ahead and put this back in comfort. It's no slouch at all. I actually think this is faster than my Honda Accord 2.0T Sport I had. This thing's insane. Now you can hear the rattle on this rough road. You have the electric motors kind of, doing some torque fill before that gas engine with the turbo kicks in. You really have power pretty much all the time. It's really nice. Fuel economy, I've been averaging 27.7 MPG this week. So not quite the numbers that that are posted, but honestly, with the way I've been driving it, I think that's perfectly adequate. You can really see the whole front end lift up. It's pretty hilarious. Overall visibility in here is actually really good. You do have blind spot monitoring in the mirrors. There's no real big blind spots in here. Really no complaints. The rear window is big enough. You can see what's going on around you. Overall, these seats are pretty comfortable. It's nice having ventilated seats as well, especially on hot days like this. It's currently 85. It's going to be 90 some later today, but it definitely feels a lot hotter than 85 right now. But definitely helps with the sweaty butt and sweaty back. Once you experience ventilated seats, I don't think you can ever go back. Go ahead and put it in Sport S Plus. Go around these roundabouts. Quite a bit of body roll. You can tell this is a lifted sedan, but it does handle corners relatively okay. Sport S Plus, it really, ups the throttle sensitivity. This does come with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. And, you get the, standard suite of features that, pretty much everybody else has now. I'll put a screenshot of the Monroney on the screen that you can, see what it's offered. I can't remember them anymore. But this does have, adaptive cruise control and, lane tracing assist, where it keeps you centered in the lane. Works pretty well this week. I've been experimenting with it on and off. Does a pretty good job negotiating some corners. In the past I've had trouble with Toyota Safety Sense, the lane tracing assist not working really well, but in this model it actually works pretty nice. You can set your following distance. You can also disengage adaptive cruise and then go into regular cruise control mode. I don't know if you can see that right now, but there's a huge glare with this gloss black plastic from the sun, the way the light's hitting it. That's just directly in my eyes. Sometimes you do get a glare on this gloss black plastic here, directly into your eyes as well. Kind of wish, manufacturers would shy away from gloss black plastic for that specific reason, and maybe just go with a matte look. But yeah, it is kind of a bummer there. There's a ton of torque here. This Hybrid Max powertrain is certainly nothing to scoff at. This car is a little bit of a sleeper. Just like that, you're up to 60 miles an hour. This vehicle does come equipped with an 11-speaker JBL sound system. We'll go ahead and test that real quick. Song here. Alright, we're going to stop it right there and talk about what just happened. This thing has front cross traffic alert, and honestly, this really upsets me. Toyota, why? Why do we need that? I get, you want, people to be safe, But that is just unnecessary, because in that case in point where I want to take my, foot off the brake and go, because I've timed it perfectly, and, I know he's not all the way in front of me, but, I can time it perfectly just fine without the car alerting me. And it just sits there and beeps. And the first time it happened, it scared me. I was like, oh no, something's wrong with the car. I thought, I was going to have to pull off to the side of the road or something. The reason why I'm so mad about it is because to turn it off, it takes 21 button presses in the infotainment system. And number two, it resets every time you turn off the car, so it turns back on. If you turn it off, it turns back on every time you turn on the car. That is unacceptable here, especially for something as obtrusive and annoying as that. You can adjust the sensitivity. I've adjusted the sensitivity, and I still haven't found a setting that works for me. But that is annoying, and that's a huge deal breaker for me. Anyways, rant over. Let's get back to that stereo system test. So yeah, overall this JBL isn't awful. It's certainly not class leading and mind-blowing, but it's not awful. I do like the sound stage. It sounds like vocals are just coming from the front there, like a performance, and then it kind of just fills in around you. I do like that, but it's nothing mind-blowing. I think I would give this a high C tier rating in my opinion. Now, I do have another major complaint about this car, and it has some driver-aware attention features that kind of pay attention to make sure you're driving, with your eyes on the road. And that's been like really, really buggy for me this week for some reason. I've been, going down the road, and all of a sudden it says, driver, your eyes are closed, please pay attention to the front of the road. And it would just constantly beep and beep and beep and beep for like 20, 30 seconds. I'm like, I am paying attention to the road. You're distracting me by, drawing my attention to the gauge cluster to figure out what the heck is going on. So, I wish you could turn that off. I tried to turn it off, and I think it's another one of those, 21 button presses, and then it turns back on every time you reset the car. So that's a little bit unfortunate. This isn't just a thing of Toyota. This is, this speaks for all manufacturers. If I want to drive the car, let me drive the car. There should be a button to turn everything off, and it stays off. There should be some legislation on that, because some of these safety features are definitely more distracting than not. They do more damage than they do, trying to help you, which is kind of annoying and a little unfortunate that we have to put up with that as consumers here. All right, let's see how this does from out of a dig. Holy cow. Certainly pulls out of a dig very nicely. You could definitely, get that assistance from that all-wheel drive system working. Now, this isn't, your traditional all-wheel drive system. It doesn't have a drive shaft that goes from front to back. It's more of an all-wheel drive system. There's an electric motor in the back that, powers the rear wheels as needed. All right, let's do another quick 0 to 60 here. Come to a complete stop here. We won't brake torque it this time. Sport S Plus mode and floor it. Man, this thing just absolutely rips. Holy Toledo. Another minor complaint, the drive mode selection does take forever to go back to your original screen. But, if you want to stare at the picture of the Toyota Crown for a little bit, just change some drive modes, and, you'll be able to do that. Overall, I have enjoyed my time in this. It's actually a pretty fun car to drive. 340 horsepower is definitely fun to, put your foot down. The torque fill, between the electric motors and stuff is actually nice. Like I said, this is the smoothest, quietest riding car I've ever been in. And, it's just overall, a pretty good driving experience for the targeted buyer. So this vehicle does come equipped with parking assist as well. You just press this button here. We're going to back into that parking space. I think, yeah, it's not handicapped, and hit start. This is pretty cool. If you have, driving anxiety or it's just a tight space, I can see this being beneficial. It does take, forever, but I mean, just to have something like this, just in case, is pretty nice. Look at that, guys. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Even gives you a little walk around of how it did. Let's go check it out real quick. Rear seat reminder there, so don't forget anything. Not bad. Not bad. I think it did a pretty good job. That comes in handy. Look at that. Cool. Did forget to mention this also does come with puddle lamps. You can see them down there. It shines the Toyota logo at night. Pretty cool. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram for some additional content and behind the scenes. Got some cool cars in the lineup coming, so stay tuned for that. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well, and we'll go ahead and see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.